all day long and monitor their money. And they make billions, literally millions of dollars every year off this money. So they're experts at it. Now, they already know. Terrence buys a policy. Terrence has to give him his name, his date of birth, whether he's using tobacco, and they know his health issue. They already know when Terrence is going to die. They already know that. So what they do is called actuaries. They go to actuary. They're going to calculate. Okay, but I'm just making this up. Terrence going to give us $1,000 a month for 30 years. They know this already. So they know how to calculate on 30 years of $1,000 how much money they're going to make. So when Terrence dies, it's a drop in the bucket. Okay, it was $1 million policy. They're going to make $5 million to give Terrence $1 million. That's how they make money. So these IULs are just another way of making money for them. It maximizes the income. It doesn't give you the most life insurance, but it gives you adequate life insurance.
That holds them holds us at 13%, while they make the other 87%.
They make a killing off that, man.
If we pay the 1%, then
they still get
they get 20%. They get 80%.
They still get
they do that extremely well.
How much money does it take to be an indexer or to control the platform, shall I say?
Man, you gotta come with me when I do this presentation. You asked some great questions. Do you know you can start this plan with $50 a month? $50 a month. But remember one thing about these plans. The more I fill the bucket up, the bigger it gets. The more I fill the bucket up, the bigger it gets. So I have clients that's put in $50,000, clients put in $100,000, clients put in $500,000. The more I put the money in there, the bigger the bucket gets. And you can do it on a monthly basis. You can do one time. Let's say you have a 401k and you got $500,000 in there. We can move from that to the index and let that money work.
So since it mirrors the market, that means since it mirrors the market, your money never really touched the central banking system.
Never touched it at all.
Wow.
You become your own
Your
bank.
principal, right?
Yeah.
Your principal.
And the growth.
And yeah.
And the growth, sir.
I mean, you totally free from the central banking
And the
system.
growth. And the growth.
Hey, Brother Campbell.
Yes, sir.
Share this too, of the, whereas you can go from 1 million to 11 million, and then you can cap out at 20%.
What Daniel was talking about there, again, I want to reiterate that you cannot lose your principal. So can you imagine if I have $1 million at Wells Fargo Bank right now, sitting in a checking account? If I want my money, what do? I go out the bank and get it. This policy works the same way. The difference is if I want my money, you fill out a form or you call Nationwide. Yes, sir.
Is there a cap on the amount you can put into it?
No, sir. There's no cap. But there is a way you have to put it in.
Certain way.
Because what Uncle Sam did, Serge, what Uncle Sam did was people were making so much. When I
This
say
is my
people,
daughter, Rikaya.
Hello, how you doing?
hello.
I'm doing well.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Individuals were making so much money in this vehicle that Uncle Sam had to step in and say, wait a minute now. You know, you can still do it because of the life insurance policy, but you have to do it in segmentations,
Segmentation?
which means that a certain amount you could do per year,
I got you.
unless you have a trust. It's different for a trust. A trust, you could dump $5 million into it if it's a trust. If it's on an individual, it's a certain amount per year, and we can have that conversation.
What's the maximum for a trust?
11 million.
Yeah, that's the max.
Yeah. 11
Per
million.
year?
On a one time, yeah, yes, per year. On a one, yes, per year.
So you
Yes.
can have, how many trusts can you have then?
I mean, you got
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you can drop 11 million per year inside of the trust.
in the trust, yes.
Okay.
Maximum.
Maximum. You can't do that if it's Derek Campbell and I'm the owner and the name insured. But if the trust is the owner and Derek Campbell's a name insured, I could drop 11 million today.
Like if I have 15 trusts, I could do 15, 11 million.
Exactly.
And just so that you're the trustee, I will be the trustee on this one you're saying, and not the trustor.
The trustee cannot be the same as a named insured. So if Derek Campbell, his insurance is on me, he'd have to be my trustee.
Okay.
That's the limit.
But Derek Campbell still gonna control it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the I don't want to use the word limitation, but that's the
Caveat.
stipulation, the caveat of that particular policy. But to go back what Daniel was saying that because I don't lose my principal, because it grows between 8 to 10%. And again, I urge everybody to do the research. It's not hard to do. Do it on Index Universal Lives. And I can send you guys as much stuff as you want. I mean, just I get your email addresses, I can inundate you with stuff. Because Miles and I we're on this knowledgeable trip right now.
Yeah.
But the point is that it can cap at 13%, but if you want to go to 20%, there is a one-time 1% fee of the money that you put into the policy. So that if you put $1 million in, that could be $10,000. So understand.
Per month?
No, one time.
Yeah, but also share that, say like if you have a trust and say you can't, it has to be another name on
Correct.
the account,
Correct.
and you can have several different trusts with $11 million in it.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the 20% and the 1 cent that they are getting, that means we're getting 19%.
Correct. You mind if I share your example?
No.
Personally? Yeah, yes, sir.
Is that on the entity or an individual?
It can be both. It can be both. It just matter how you want to set it up. See, one thing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to really emphasize, setting these things up initially is crucial. If you don't set it up properly, everything I just said to you won't happen. So I'm gonna say it again. If it's
Unless you put a clause in there that says provisionally, if I would choose to change that name out to someone else, then I would have that freedom to do so at any given time.
as the owner, that's correct. You can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that has to be in there though,
Right.
at the beginning.
Well, you actually don't need a clause for that. If you're the owner of the policy, I can do that anytime. What I'm speaking about is setting it up initially, how the money flows. Because you can go buy IRA, IUL anywhere. But if the person that you're buying it from does not know how to set up properly, you're not gonna get the advantages I'm telling you about. You're just not. Because when I say life insurance, what comes to everybody's mind? Death benefits.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about death benefits.
Exactly.
I'm talking about living benefits. I'm talking about wealth transfer. That's what I'm talking about here. I mean, do you guys know that our white brothers and sisters, they take advantage of life insurance much better than we do. Anytime I see one of them, they're on board with this. Because the number one way of transferring wealth is life insurance. Where can I go and spend $10 and get $10,000 upon my death? Come on, guys, think about that.
If you die the next day.
If you died, I'm talking about the next day. I'm not talking about years later. I bought the policy, you pay the premium, you die the next day. They're gonna pay the life insurance like that. It's through life insurance. That's why we gotta have it. Now, if I can arrange, and I can, well, I've got life insurance, and now I got a living benefit too. Think about that.
I don't have to.
I mean,
I don't have to.
tax free.
Wow.
Tax free. Yes, sir.
Monthly,
So the trust is
quarterly.
treated like a legal person.
Yes, it is. It's an entity within itself. Yes. And remember on the trust now, ladies and gentlemen, only the trustee can access the funds. Don't forget that. The named insured, I can't get the money. So, and I asked Daniel if I can use an example. We're talking about, he's about to do one in terms of $1 million. His daughter is going to be the trustee. So she will have access to the funds and do whatever he says fit. Now in the trust, there's stipulations the trust is going to have that's written in this trust that the trustee has to execute.
Right. Exactly.
But Daniel
Still
can't pull that trigger. She has to pull that trigger. So and I'm sure he'll do this, but when Daniel says to his daughter, start paying me X amount of dollars, she just goes and does it, and Nationwide will start writing him a check. It's just amazing. And think about this. I said this before, I want you to the $1 million stays intact. It doesn't go anywhere.
And the key thing, it gives
And
the
then the
individual
insurance, what does the
anonymity.
insurance give from that policy?
The beneficiaries? Oh, if they die, I think yours is at is it 2.2 million?
2.3.
2.3 million. So when he dies, his daughter and his grandchildren, because he's got 13 grandkids, and that's all he kept talking about, my grandkids. They got 2.3 million that I'm assuming when we do it with how he wants it to happen, they'll get X amount of dollars. So that's the benefit of it.
And the trust also will give a certain amount based upon what he designates in that trust. Because he's the owner of the trust, or the trustee of the trust, rather.
Not the trustee.
I mean, his daughter is the trustee of the trust,
Beneficiary.
but based upon his instructions,
Yes.
then it would be divvied out.
Yes, exactly.
And that's monthly, quarterly,
Whichever way
Whichever
set
one.
it
Basically, you can build it however you want
Everyone.
to. That's the luxury of it too. And you can do riders as well. I mean, we didn't even talk about long-term care.
Yeah, mention that, Mom.
And the beautiful thing is, it gives you anonymity from everything
Who
else.
around here knows somebody that set up the trust?
I know people that set up trusts.
Okay. Now we-
I have one and I love it.
I don't set up trust, but I can recommend an attorney to you.
Yeah.
So now,
What do you do?
What do I do?
Who do you
late,
do?
Mr. Brother Apostle.
I am. I've been
I'm sorry I'm late, but
That's okay, sir. I've been in the insurance financial service business for 22 years, and so I am an expert in retirement, life insurance,
Long-term care.
long-term care. Thank you, Mom. That's why you're here.
I
Thank you,
need
Mom.
that.
Long-term care.
Everybody needs long-term
And
care.
I also own an agency that does property casualty as well, but I have somebody else that takes care of that for me. But my specialty is talking to individuals like this about retirement, long-term care, and life insurance. That's my sweet spot. That's what I love to do.
You're good.
okay, I have another question. So now, when you have 11 trusts, one trust is, does insurance have to be attached to each trust? Or can you, IUL with that one trust, and then you set up 9 other trusts? Or do all the trusts have to have an insurance attached to it? The life insurance to make that work the way we're talking about?
The answer to the question is yes. So you have to have an IUL policy as the basis to put inside the trust
Okay.
for the money to work. So
Now,
yes.
does the amount have to be the same on each one?
No.
Armor? That's
Just
her
have to have a policy.
That's her
Right.
name.
11 million was the max, wasn't it?
Yeah, 11 mil per year.
That was
Is it
the
like
max
E?
per year.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
She said something different.
Yeah, I hear some of the stuff he asked.
But no, it's just a field I've been in a long time, thinking, but not having a lot of knowledge about it. And I realized several years ago, the reason that we as a people is financially deprived, especially when you get my age, is through a lack of information on how to deal. Because it was at a point where I was making the good money, but very ignorant in how to protect it.
Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's 3 ways we make money in America. The first way we make money, we go to work
Yeah.
on our backs. You know, but what's the problem with that? I'm trading time for dollars.
Exactly.
I'm not saying.
Time, too much time.
I mean, I get that, but the best way to make money is called compound interest, where the dollar is picking up your stuff for you. That's all I'm talking about in this IUL, compound interest. So if I could put my money into this thing and let the compound interest work, it's amazing what we do over time. It's amazing. It's incredible. And of course, the third way we do it is charity work. You know, but the compound interest work, that's what white America has been doing for years, decades. We don't do it.
No, we don't know.
That's it. We don't know.
We don't know.
I know it. So many people, they just not educated on
For a
certain
long
stuff.
time, they kept that kind of stuff from us. in the first place.
Exactly.
That's all it is. We just don't know.
They kept it from us for a long time.
We'll do better.
Now, sir, what were you saying about the annuities? What did you call? You were speaking about
Annuity.
no, it wasn't annuities. It was something else you had made mention of.
A Roth?
No.
Roth IRA?
It started with it sounds like annuity, but I thought you had said something annuity. I thought you said something else though.
I can't bring it up.
He's so brilliant, he don't remember all
No, that ain't it, bro.
sophisticated stuff.
I'm just floored by the information.
Let
that
me
I'm
say this
receiving.
too, as Brother Campbell and Miles have, they got my attention. I've dealt with financial planners, and I want to share with you all the people that I've used and some other people have used as far as my living trust, power of attorney, all of that. And they're a company that it's not that expensive to use these people, but they're so thorough. Like this is probably like, I think it's 38, 40, 41 pages for my family's, trust and all. And, I don't think $500 is too much to be asking to, go through that. And so I would share that information with you all. And also, as we are, most people here, or all of us, are into the foreign currency. And we're looking for that to pay out, billions and trillions of dollars in dividends. And also we have other financial people that we are in touch with, wealth people that we listen to and stuff like that. And my whole thing that I wanted to do, here's a black company. Here's a man that's been in business for over 40 years. He knows he's a multimillionaire himself. I hope
Is he a billionaire or multimillionaire?
I'm working on the B.
Yeah.
I'm working on the B. So.
And I'm going to get him to start opening his mind up for this foreign currency too, because that's what's going to take him over the hump.
Right.
But one thing that we got to realize as we think about is stretch our mind to think bigger than we've ever thought before, or to look at this thing in a way where we're looking at generational wealth from, for 3 generations, 4 generations down the road. And we're going to have to, and like Donald said, it's like information that we didn't know before, but we do know now. So we don't have an excuse. Whether we get $25,000 worth of insurance, 100 or a million. I mean, do it now. We can't wait. We don't know when and where or whatever. Whether it's Bitcoin or whether it's GS 999, 999. We don't know when that thing is gonna, transpire. But if we have some protection, like, as you all know, my wife made her transition, and she was in annuities. She was in 401k where they double her match their funds. So the annuities was great, so I will advise everybody, this is why I wanted to bring this family together, because we shouldn't leave here without a generational package for our children and our grandchildren. There's just no excuse for us. And so when we get professionals like these brothers here, and maybe, when we get $1 billion, maybe we'll, do business with them for 20 million. But we got to do business with people that have the right information for us, that we can gain the financial independence that we want our children to have. Because it shouldn't be anymore where our children should not live in a decent neighborhood, that they don't have to be afraid, or they don't have to, when they get 16 or 18, you want to buy them a car, you can buy them a new car. You don't have to buy them a used car. You want to take them on vacation to Africa, whole family go on vacation to Africa. So those are the kind of things that we got to be really pushing into our children, our community, our families. Whether they agree with the foreign currency, or whether they agree with Bitcoin, or whether they agree with, whatever coin it is, they got to get in something. it's imperative. And I thank you, brothers, and especially this young brother here, man. He's been on me. He follows up. He's consistent, and I just admire that out of this brother and what he has done, and what his mentor, and he got a son in the business, and everything. Had his grandson when I was over there at the office. What age was he?
He was 4.
4 years old, and he's getting the atmosphere of the business. So this is what it's all about, and there's nothing new to any of us around here, but we gotta get the ball rolling, keep it rolling, and we got to pass information. Whether we gravitate to it or not, you got to pass the information on that we look at this generational wealth now like we've never looked at it before.
Tell me something. For people that have company-sponsored 401ks now, can they take that and turn it into a universal life?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now that's powerful there.
That's very powerful.
Because I know a lot of people.
Yeah. And I would strongly recommend they do that because the IUL is going to perform better, and they get the money tax free. It's going to perform much better.
Yeah.
And get the money tax free. So what I'd like to do, and if I can get you guys contact information, if that's okay with Daniel, Miles, if you can write down everybody's contact information, because we just have a one-on-one conversation. And the other thing I want to urge everybody is this. I'm 64 years of age, and my parents, my dad and my mom are both in heaven. I come from Chicago. My dad worked at the steel mill, and he was a security guard. My mom was a crossing guard, and they were good people, but they lacked information. They lacked information. And so when I came to them, and I told them I wanted to be a business owner, my dad said, no, you're going to work at the steel mill. And I said, I don't want to do that. But to make a long story short, I ended up opening a business. I bring that up to say this. If you have children that are in their 20s, they need to buy it now. Buy it. Miles is paying $200 a month. By the time he's 40, he's going to be set.
Wow.
They need to buy it now.
My granddaughter, hey, Mom, I need your phone number for my granddaughter.
You need to buy it now because time's going to work for you.
Yeah, car is the youngest.
18. 18.
No.
Sir.
You got a card?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And we passing out the contact
Oh
information.
yeah,
right
I'll
around.
take your card.
I would like to have.
You guys, this is where you have a power meeting. It's about 10 minutes till 2, and we don't want to take up any of you all's time. So grateful that you graced us with your presence, and pray that this was a great meeting for everybody.
It was.
And hopefully we'll get in touch with Miles and Mr. Campbell and do some business.
I take an extra.
Well, Miles will be giving you guys a call, just a scheduled time that we can meet, either at the office or we can meet for lunch or wherever you feel most comfortable at. We'll make that happen and just have the conversation.
What's the minimum?
Feel good?
What's the min and max? What's the minimum a person can get involved in this life insurance?
The least I've done is $50 a month.
Okay.
The max I've done is
You
$100,000.
wanted to write down my
Well,
Somebody's about to beat that.
It's $50 a year. $50 a month.
This is for.
It's going to depend on
Okay.
what they are. You know, if it's Miles, they well, because we got time. Remember, compound interest
Right.
works over time. Are
Exactly.
you familiar with the rule of 72?
No, sir.
Rule of 72 states how long something will double. So if I divide 72 by the interest rate, which is about 2.5 right now, it'll tell you when something's going to double. So with Miles at 24, you know, his money's going to double almost 3 times. So that 10,000 turns into 20,000, turns into 40,000, turns into 80,000. So it's pretty incredible. It's called compound
And
interest.
these young people out here now, they be having that kind of money. If they just had a direction to put it in.
That's all they need.
That's all.
We
That's
just need
all.
mentorship.
Yeah.
That's the positive side of it. That's the positive side of the rule of 72.
Right.
There's negatively
There's
too.
a negative side of it
So
too.
record that shit, and your credit is what interest rate you get at the bank. If it's high, How long does it take it to double for them, for you to pay that out? Student loans, to get example.
Is this two different lists?
Oh no, this is mine.
Only for so long,
Oh,
but
okay.
still, when you defer, the rule of
The
72
new
is still there.
financial system.
I mean, no, they're wiping them out. That's not the word you use.
Okay.
Biden is wiping them out.
But you're right.
Right?
I've heard him say it, but he's right too.
Oh, yeah.
It goes the other way too. I tend to think about the positive side, but he's right. It does go the other way as well.
In what way? I'm curious about that. What do
You
you?
take student loans.
Okay.
Okay, the rule of 72, you divide whatever interest rate you're getting by 72. It shows you how long it takes for that to double.
Okay.
So now, in student loans, if your interest rate is up there, you divide it by 72, and it shows you how many years that loan gonna double. Say that loan is 20,000, and say you're out of school now, and say it doubles every 3 years. And you ain't paid it. Then the 3 years hit, it goes from 20 to 40. And you go, "What? I didn't take that." Like, yes, you did. You just don't remember.
Yeah, hopefully with the new system come, all that's going to be.
But that's
right
why I
there.
asked, was it when you said it wasn't attached to the central banking system, that showed me it wasn't debt based.
No.
So, and that told me everything I needed to know.
This is decentralized?
Yes, it's decentralized. It has to
didn't
be,
catch that.
and that's the power of it.
Oh, okay.
That is not being controlled by a handful of people.
Young banker.
It's market driven. Now that's what you said. That's what I.
But it mirrors the market.
But it mirrors the market.
Throw the
yeah.
mirror in there.
Well, yeah.
Because market driven means I can lose
that's
too.
very true. That's very important.
It's very important.
It's very
So
important.
stop loss already in place on.
It mirrors the market.
It mirrors. You're not in it,
Right.
so you don't really care what the market does.
Right.
But anything that it does well,
You take all the positive
we right there. So like I said, you know, we like running in the back door on them.
And just remember, it does have a floor. The floor is 0. It cannot go below
And you
0.
cannot lose your
Cannot lose.
principal.
So it can't go negative on it.
Can't go
Cannot go
negative. That's almost hard to
Again,
believe.
do a little research on 2008. Check the value of 401ks. You're gonna find out they dropped between 33%
Yeah.
to 43%. Then check the value of IULs.
I know a
They
man
lose any
lost
money.
$400,000
They lose any
in
money
08.
whatsoever.
How about this lady that's lost her pen? She had billions.
Yeah, I mean, just
Oh wow.
and just
I heard about that.
he had a massive heart attack and he still ain't right.
Behind that.
Behind it, yeah, and it's slated for the same thing to happen again real soon.
They lost the pension. What account?
Where their money is.
The 401ks and stuff.
Yeah, I'm on there. I
When
already
it
saw.
crashed.
Mark
in 08.
Anthony.
You want to get some?
Okay.
Damn down there.
Okay.
Does anybody have any other questions I can entertain or?
Thank you guys, man. You guys are super great to have you on our team. And you really gonna have some business when this RV fall, you know. And some other things that we're dealing with 999. So
Coins. Gold coins.
yeah.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I would love to be a little bit more knowledgeable in cryptocurrency.
A lot.
Other people.
Okay.
Position. He knows all the ins and outs.
I want to get the information from the trust.
That's right.
Yeah, and this stuff too, the information that we pass around, and it's not multi-level marketing. It's just information that we get. We're not trying to build a pyramid and all that, man. We're just giving out information that, hey, you listen, go in, check them out, and if you want to get involved, you can. But if you don't have to. You know, but these trusts and things. Another thing that I found out the other day listening to, what's the other thing?
Brother Eric.
Yeah, from Wealth.
He's called Wealth. I can't think of the other part. He's Wealth something.
Yeah, and so he deals with this thing of a hedge fund.
Yeah.
And then, like, hedge fund starts at 100 million. So just say if 10 of us had $10 million and we buy into a hedge fund, they go out and buy businesses for us and things of that nature. That's what.
And tax write-off. That's what's so powerful. Is the tax write-offs that you get from your investments.
Yeah.
That was just mind blowing. All the different loops that are there to take benefit.
Yeah.
To take, oh man, it was powerful.
Yeah, it's a powerful ordeal, and we got to take advantage of this knowledge while we can, and pass it around free, because it's free.
Yeah.
So thank you all.
Thank you.
For coming, and y'all got everybody's numbers and stuff.